So we're going to start a conversation. I'm going to start with the head table and bug them, because it's like my classes. People are always quiet at the beginning, and then at the end you can't stop them from talking. I hope the second part works. So what I wanted to do is and this is how when I annoy Sharon, I use, how much do you feel that you have the power to implement to ensure that education happens on this campus or at the system level? Or to use the word she hates, are you a stakeholder? Or do you feel you're just an employee? So, can I, now that she's getting used to it. Okay. All right. Joel. Bring it on the spot.
Happy New Year, everyone. I feel fortunate to be here. I'm really glad that UHPA has initiated this Leadership Thought Series. I think it's long overdue, and I think it's going to be really good moving forward. I also want to say that I appreciate, by the way, Misty Carmichael, our current UHPA board member, giving up her opportunity to be up here, for me to be up here in the hot seat. So appreciate that, Misty. It's kind of interesting. I probably don't know many of you in the audience, and that's more my fault than anything else. 2 years ago in the spring, I was on a one-semester sabbatical. Last spring, I was doing 6 months of cancer therapy. So it's like I've been here half the time over the past 2 years. And I really need to get to know everyone better. And of course, there's the old-timers out there that I have worked with for many years. I wasn't sure how to I wasn't sure what needed to be said in this forum. But since David has passed the mic to me, I guess I've been trying over the past few weeks with the holidays and everything else to come up with some ideas to just throw on the table. I lost some sleep, at least several nights, over wondering if I should tell a story involving myself in the faculty senate that took place about 11 or 12 years ago. And maybe I can just briefly tell you the story without getting into the gory details. First of all, I think faculty governance is sacrosanct on any university or college campus. We cannot let that vehicle go in any way. We need to embrace it, and we need to fully participate in it. So let me briefly tell my story. In 02-03, that school year, my oldest son, who had spent a year on the mainland and came home really homesick, wanted to go to school here. And so I recommended HCC, and he decided to give it a try. Initially, he wanted to be a mechanic, and he wanted to go work with Harrow guys. And I talked him into going into the food service program with Alan because his mom had taught him how to cook and do a lot of things in the kitchen from a very young age, and I thought he would have a real knack for it. And so he got into the food service program. And he was still living at home at the time. And back then, I think we either had 2 and possibly 3 kids still living at home. And so we were still having dinner together every evening at the dinner table. And one night, I think it was in September sometime, the new semester, he started talking about at least one of his classes in which he was watching TV. In fact, watching the Food Channel. And this immediately caught my attention. And because I was pretty clueless, about, we've been all over the UH and HCC campus for the whole time I've been working here, which is 28 years. And so, me being on the upper campus, I'm oftentimes clueless as to what's going on the lower campus. And so he explained to me that they didn't have a classroom, they didn't have a cafeteria to work in because of construction. I guess you guys were undergoing renovation.
Poly room, Hotel.
You guys are at the poly room, the old poly room at the Nani Loa. And the students were watching TV, watching the food channel, and doing other things as well. Well, to say I wasn't pleased is an understatement. And so I really felt an obligation to follow up in somehow on behalf of my son. So at that point, I became a parent, not a faculty member. And so first I went to Alan Folks, and Alan was very straightforward, honest, and cordial. And basically Alan said, well, my hands are tied, we're doing what we're told to do. At which point, I then went to see the dean, and the dean basically told me I was out of line, and I did emphasize the point that I was going to the dean as a parent, not as a faculty member. And the dean basically told me I was out of line, at which point I had to go see the provost. We didn't have a chancellor at the time. We still had a provost. And the provost, just as the dean had, proceeded to tell me, and again, I went to her as a parent, not as a faculty member. The provost proceeded to essentially tell me that I was out of line. So my last resort was the Academic Faculty Senate. And over the course of about 2 or 3 months, with the full support of the Senate and Mary Goya, who was the Senate chair at the time, how should I say this? We were able to take action that resulted in the then provost resigning. And so, this is probably a little known fact on campus. I made a lot of enemies as a result. There were some friends that supported me in all of this, but I just felt it was important to just do the right thing. My son was paying tuition, going to class, and being asked to watch TV as part of his instruction. And in my mind, that was just totally unacceptable. And when I went to the people up the ladder to try to get resolution, some questions answered and find resolution to the problem, I was basically treated like a second-class citizen or worse. And so the Faculty Senate is the body that was able to move things along and help us all find a resolution to that problem. And so again, my whole point here is to encourage everyone to participate fully, become empowered, and be part of running our college, because we're the faculty. And is there anyone more important than the faculty? I think only the students. Thank you.